This here came out about a week ago from the time I'm making this video, and the thing is, as you can see, Dan won some substantial damages from the Daily Mirror. You might know Dan Wootton because he wrote some bad things about Johnny and the Sun. Johnny got canceled. Then some allegations came out against Dan, and Dan got canceled. Now, there's two sides to the coin. One side is if the allegations against Dan are true. That I don't know. That we'll talk about for a minute. The other side is, well, it doesn't matter if they're true or not, because Dan learned a lesson from it. That it doesn't feel so good being canceled over allegations without a court case, without evidence. But having said that, it does seem like we don't have the final nail in the coffin to prove Dan did this. So I gotta say, as far as the truth end of it, I don't know. I wouldn't doubt it. The allegations are Dan videotaped people without their consent, and everyone's got their own, secret desires and things. So it's not unbelievable at all. But still, we just don't have full proof. So that's the context. Let's see what we got. And this here's from this publication called Guido, if I'm saying it right. Guido can now reveal that following on from the Guardian's apology, Dan Wootton has now also won an apology plus substantial damages from the Daily Mirror after they reprinted the subsequently discredited Byline Times allegations about him. The official Mirror apology reads, an article headlined, Met Police Launches Probe into Dan Wootton Sex Offenses Allegations was published on our website on October 2nd, 2023, and removed later that day following a complaint from Dan Wootton. But they have allegations in the title. So I think if you use allegations, you should be cleared. I mean, you're not saying that they're true. Last week, the Met Police and Police Scotland said they had concluded their investigations and are taking no further action. We accept that we were wrong to have published the article and apologize unreservedly to Mr. Wootton for any upset the article may have caused. Mr. Wootton has restated that the police inquiries have exonerated him of any criminal wrongdoing. And by the way, I've said this before, generally I take the police at face value, but I would be interested to see those investigations. I mean, we still do have to just take their word for it. As you know, man or woman, it seems like famous people tend to be punished less for things. Unless you've got some certain ideology, of course. But in general, Mirror Group newspapers are also paying substantial five-figure damages to Wootton. This means the country's two biggest left-wing newspapers have apologized for following up on the shoddy reporting of Byline Times. Byline Times are currently busy taking on J.K. Rowling and have yet to concede to Dan. Either Dan or J.K. could likely bankrupt the rag. And they call him a rag. That's interesting. Okay, so what's going on here is it seems Dan's name is cleared and people who were saying things about him are now apologizing and paying up. Byline Times articles, which I covered here, were very detailed. They were well written and very long. A lot of them were like 10 pages. And the thing is, from my experience, and you could tell me also, when you see these allegations, they're usually skimpy. When you make something up, it's usually not detailed, pretty short. I can't remember, he did this, believe me, I swear kind of thing. But these had length to them. That's why I didn't really, doubt them immediately. I gave it a chance, but I'm pretty sure along the way I said, we don't know yet, waiting for more. They're allegations, I can't say it's true kind of thing. I mean, because I can't. It's pretty rare when you could seem to know for sure. And I figured I'd throw the J.K. Rowling news in here because it's kind of connected. J.K. Rowling netted an apology from a left-wing journalist who went on a foul-mouthed rant about her before hastily deleting his tweets, which we know doesn't do anything because people screenshot them and they're out there. And the Harry Potter author was labeled lovely after graciously accepting the apology on social media. A row erupted after Byline Times published a long interview with trans TV personality India Wilby, if I'm saying that right, where the 58-year-old claimed that they had reported the Scots writer to police for a hate crime after being misgendered. Wilby said, I'm legally a woman, she knows I'm a woman, and she calls me a man. It's a protected characteristic, and it's a breach of both the Equality Act and the Gender Recognition Act. She's tweeted that out to 14 million followers. Well, that's a rabbit hole. Obviously, I can't go down here, but it looks like J.K. Rowling got an apology. And the greater point to that is the Mirror could technically owe out J.K. Rowling also, and if they did, well, who knows where that would leave them financially and things like that. But I'm not so concerned. Whatever happens to them happens. All right. So all in all, seems like Dan's name is kind of cleared, but it's not like the Mail Online and GB News are just like inviting him back, like, hey, come on back. Oh well, I guess we'll see what happens from here. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. If you don't, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.